Ladies and gentlemen, Convocation is now in session. As Chancellor, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 293rd Convocation. To all our graduates, first let me say congratulations. You have worked hard to achieve this, and graduation represents a major milestone in your lives. At Convocation, we assemble as a university community, the University of Western Ontario community, to celebrate and recognize your achievements at Western and to wish you every success in the future. However, your learning days are far from over. Learning is a lifelong process, and Western has not provided you with the answers to all questions. At most, we hope that what stays with you is a way of thinking objectively and approaching problems with an open mind and a healthy respect for new ideas, all tempered with a compassion and empathy for the human condition. You are forever a cherished member of this great university, founded more than a century ago, and we welcome you into the Western family. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you. Today, we also confer an honorary degree upon Catherine Williams in acknowledgement of her achievements as a business leader, mentor, and volunteer. And I am delighted to welcome her to this convocation and to present our distinguished candidate. I will now call on Mr. Ted Gerard, Vice President of the University.
Mr. Chancellor, graduates, parents, and honored guests, Catherine Williams is a highly accomplished senior executive, a dedicated volunteer, and a proud Western alumna who has also been named as one of Canada's top 100 most powerful women by the Women's Executive Network for 3 years in a row. Cathy grew up here in London and graduated from Western with a degree in political science. After graduation, she briefly worked for the Business Development Bank of Canada before spending 2 years backpacking through Europe. Upon her return to Canada, she decided to complete her MBA at Queen's University, graduating in 1977. Cathy began her corporate career in Ottawa and then relocated to Calgary, where she joined Shell Canada's corporate finance team in 1984. While with Shell, she held several positions in Canada and Europe, following time spent in London, England in 1989 and 2001. Cathy returned to Canada. She has commented to the Globe and Mail that she had come to appreciate that Canada is more advanced than many European countries from the standpoint of promoting women. And indeed, it has been said that through her many promotions at Shell, Cathy has helped raise the ceiling for women executives in Canada. In 2003, Cathy was appointed Chief Financial Officer at Shell, a position from which she retired in 2007. Since then, Cathy has been Managing Director of Options Capital Limited, a private investment company. She also holds directorships at Enbridge, an energy delivery company that transports natural gas, and one of our favorites, Tim Hortons. Recently, Cathy served as a member of the Federal Government Advisory Panel on Canada's system of international taxes. The group studied the fairness and competitiveness of taxes imposed on investments coming into Canada and investments by Canadian companies abroad. In the midst of her truly remarkable corporate career, Cathy married Bruce Williams, and they have 3 children. In an article in the Queen's University Alumni magazine, Cathy was quoted as saying, "What I'm happiest about is the fact that I've been able to earn an education, have an accomplished and rewarding career, have a family and a supportive husband, and remain involved in the community." And to that end, Cathy has been a dedicated volunteer who has devoted time to a variety of charitable causes. She spent 7 years as a Director of Junior Achievement in Southern Alberta and was a member of the board of the United Way of Calgary and area, serving as their chair of the board. In 2003, Cathy was appointed to the Board of Governors of Mount Royal College and became chair in 2007. Currently, she is helping guide the college's transition to a degree-granting institution. She is also a member of the Queen's University Advisory Board for the Business School. Cathy has said, "It's the whole sum that matters. I feel gratified that I've been able to do something with some of the many opportunities presented over a lifetime." I would argue that the sum of Kathy's achievements is substantial, as she has paved the way for many future women in business while balancing the needs of raising a family and contributing to her communities, both locally and globally. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and in the name of the Senate, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon one of this country's most accomplished and successful women, Catherine Williams.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations, Dr. Williams. That's your degree. On behalf of all assembled here today, I should now like to invite our newest alumna, Dr. Catherine Williams, to address Convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored guests, graduates, family, and friends. I am honored to receive this award, and I thank the members of the Senate for conferring this honor on me. It is humbling to stand before you all and share your pride and excitement on this day and at this stage of your lives. It's hard to think how many years ago that I was sitting in your seat about to graduate from the University of Western Ontario with a BA in political science. I remember happiness for the day, for friends, for the memories. I remember sadness at the prospect of not seeing many people again, and some nostalgia for what I was leaving, the card games in the science cafeteria, pub nights at the Seeps, and things like that. And there was sadness to be leaving behind the stimulating discussions with classmates and some really good profs. I remember my parents and my family's pride in my accomplishment. I remember relief to be getting away from studies, at least for a while. And I remember the excitement to be starting a new phase in my life. I sincerely hope that you are experiencing happiness, pride, nostalgia, and a whole range of emotions today. I suspect that some of you may also be feeling some concern, as the economic reality of 2009 is challenging and different from my graduation year in 1971. I want to offer you today a few thoughts that may be useful to you to make the most of yourself and your future, even in these unsettling days. I have 4 simple tenets. Know yourself, take charge of your own life, take risks, and with curiosity, always keep learning. None of these is earth-shattering, but they seem to work together in a coherent fashion. To me, these elements can help you be successful, no matter how you define that word. When I graduated from UWO 38 years ago, I did what a few new graduates did then, and many more do now. I went on my first trip to Europe. Like many, I traveled as cheaply as possible, but few stopped and worked as I did a few times in order to be able to prolong my time away, which lasted about 17 months. To some people, this was not the sensible thing to do, as I was not settling down and getting a job immediately. To me, it was a great opportunity to see new countries, meet people, and enjoy the wonder of the art and the history that was everywhere around me in Europe. It was when I did my growing up and when I gained a lot of self-confidence. That first big adventure taught me more than a few life lessons, although I did not really appreciate and understand them all until I experienced similar lessons in my career situations. I took charge of my own life, took some risks, and boy, did I learn a lot about myself. At Western, you have developed many analytical skills as you've analyzed many things, theories, great writing, historical events. Have you ever stopped to analyze yourself? It's absolutely critical to understand yourself, your strengths and weaknesses. Understand that a strength taken too far becomes a weakness. You can also manage around a weakness, but it's pretty hard to fundamentally change yourself. No doubt you've spent some time thinking about what you want to do with the rest of your life. For some, this is much easier than for others. Some, like me, have a eureka moment when you realize a direction that makes sense. For me, it was in my third year here at Western when I took a business course and went, this is where I belong. It was a few years before I went back to university to do an MBA, but the awareness that business could really interest me and the broader understanding of what the world can offer started right here. Self-awareness is about understanding what aspects of studies, work, relationships that you really like and what you don't, so you can try to do things that use your strengths and are more enjoyable for you. You will always be more successful in what you undertake if you like what you're doing. It's not necessarily easy to figure yourself out, and certainly may not be quick. Many of us are late bloomers. You may have to try many different things to figure out where your own satisfaction comes from. When you try things, you need to analyze why you like some aspects and not others, and go a few layers deep. You need to understand yourself and not simply accept how others may define you. Secondly, take charge of your own life. You are graduating from university. You may be leaving home for the first time. It is truly time now, if you haven't already done so, to stand on your own 2 feet and be responsible for your actions. Think about what it is that you really want to accomplish and why. What is important to you? I really understood the importance of this in the context of taking charge of my own career. I had been encouraged to apply for another job in the company where I was working because it would be good for my career. When I didn't get the job, I felt like a huge weight had been lifted from my shoulders. If I'd gotten it, I probably wouldn't have been very good at it, and I may have blamed others for encouraging me in that direction. But I would have had only myself to blame. Seek advice, certainly, then think and decide for yourself. Travel if that's what you really want to do, not because others are doing so. Go to grad school because you know how you will benefit, not because others are going. Thirdly, you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to try new things and get out of your comfort zone. It's important to take calculated risks or educated risks where you have some understanding of what may go wrong and what the price will be. But life is just not without risks, and the rewards can be simply great. When our children were 6, 4, and 18 months, we made our first move to England for me to take a promotion within Shell. It was challenging for my husband's work. It was challenging to move 3 children, and in the land of Mary Poppins, it was not easy to find the right nanny. For much of the first year that we were there, I wasn't sure if it had been the right decision. However, as could be expected, I suppose, we all coped, and as a family unit, we grew stronger. It started our children on their love of new places, which they took to brilliantly, as evidenced by our oldest daughter living and working in Sydney, Australia, our middle daughter living and working in London, England, and our son working on an archaeological dig in Greece right now. But now I believe, more than ever, the first move to England was one of the best risks my husband and I ever took. Finally, what is said by many, always keep learning. Formal education will continue to open doors for many, as my MBA did for me. However, lifelong learning is mostly informal, and curiosity is a very important element of this. You can learn from all your situations, travel, new work experiences, clubs, activities. You can sometimes even learn more from a situation that doesn't work out or a boss that you don't like. And when things do go well, don't take it for granted. Ask yourself why. Always be curious and keep learning. To me, it is a continuous loop. taking charge of your own situation, analyzing and understanding yourself, taking risks, and always learning from whatever situation you are in. It may help you make the most of what you have. 2009 is a challenging time in many respects. It's still a time of great opportunity. The financial turmoil of the past 2 years have been difficult to understand and disappointing to me that we have gotten to this point. I have spent most of my career in financial markets, and I understand a lot about them and about derivatives. As an analyst, I brought the concept of interest rate swaps, a form of derivative, to Shell Canada, and our first transaction was said to be the first corporate interest rate swap in this country. And yet I don't really understand how the financial markets could have gotten into such complexity to have caused the trillions and trillions of dollars in losses. The turmoil, the meltdown to some extent, is to some extent because of greed. It is to some extent because of lack of accountability, and it is to some extent because of herd mentality. Many things had to fail to get us to this outcome. No doubt many books will be written to try and explain it all, and indeed quite a few already have. To me, we will really miss the point, the learning points of this situation, if all the books are written in the business school. We need the sociologists, the psychologists, the economists, and the historians looking at this business world with different eyes to understand the different aspects of what happened and why, and the lessons to be learned. I'm not saying that you should all go out and write a book, although perhaps some of you should and will. I am saying that the education that you have worked for here at Western is necessary, and you should really value it. Make the most of your education and make the most of yourself. At this time, more than ever, we need thoughtful people, people who are willing to think about new and different ways to do things, although I'm not sure we need more derivatives. Congratulations to all of the graduates. Know yourself, believe in yourself, and make the most of yourself. If you do, we will all benefit from your endeavors in whatever field you are in. I wish you all much happiness and success in the future that you make for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams, for an address that I know resonated with our graduating students. Your personal success in business and finance is an inspiration to many. Your leadership skills and professionalism are known throughout the business community. And you have served for a generation as a role model for women who aspire to careers at the highest echelons of Canadian business. Equally important, however, you embody the commitment to give back through your leadership in a wide variety of charitable activities. We are pleased to welcome you today as Western's newest honorary alumna. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in once again congratulating Dr. Catherine Williams. Will the candidates for degrees please stand? Mr. Chancellor, I am honored to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed their academic programs at Western. I ask you to admit them to the degrees and diplomas for which they have been recommended by the Senate of the University.
Under the authority vested in me by the Senate, you will be admitted to the degrees and diplomas as shall be announced by the public orators.
Will the candidates please be seated? Mr. Chancellor, Graduating students, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Convocation is the single most important time of celebration in the life of the University of Western Ontario. Today we honor those graduating students who, through determination, hard work, and intelligence, have met the demanding standards of a Western degree. We also honor their families, including their parents, spouses, and children, who have played such an important role in helping our graduating students to reach the milestone which our ceremony today represents. Today is a proud day for all of us associated with Western, including our Board of Governors and Senate, our faculty, our staff, and our many friends in the community. I am pleased by the presence today of so many members of this community of learning who have gathered to celebrate this important day in the lives of our graduates and the life of the university. Those of you who cross the stage today will be joining a very special group, Western alumni, who number over 240,000 people around the world. Mr. Jim Etherington is here today representing the Alumni Association. Jim has been an extraordinary volunteer leader in our city, and not least with our Alumni Western. I ask him please to stand and be recognized. Western's Board of Governors is charged with responsibility for the overall governance of this institution. Today, representing the board, we have Warden Joanne Vanderheyden, a very committed board member and outstanding community leader. I would ask her, please, to stand and be recognized. Let me offer a special thank you to all of the parents, spouses, children, relatives, and friends who are here today to join in our celebration of academic achievement. Without your support, our graduating students in many cases might not have been able to complete their academic programs. So I ask our graduating students please to rise once again, turn around and face your family and friends, and give them a round of applause for the love and support that made this day possible. Now let me congratulate once again the remarkable women and men who graduate today with Western degrees. Today you become partners in the outstanding academic achievements of the University of Western Ontario. I charge you then, as graduates of a distinguished Canadian institution, never to forget the great benefits you have acquired in this place. And to remember always that wherever you go, you carry with you the good name of the University of Western Ontario. This will be my last week of convocation at Western. On June 30th, I will retire after having been your president for 15 years. During that time, I have watched our university transformed by the dedication and hard work of faculty, staff, students, and alumni. I offer them all and you my most profound thanks. And to our graduating students, please accept my warmest wishes to each and every one of you. Good luck. Before we proceed with the ceremonies, I have two special requests for those of you in the audience. First, please withhold your applause for the graduates crossing the platform until each group of graduates has received degrees. This will ensure that every graduate receives our full courtesy throughout the ceremony. Second, we know that photographs are an important memory of this occasion to the graduates and their family and friends. To ensure that you in the audience have the best opportunity to get good pictures, I ask that you do the following. When your special graduate is about 40 names in the program from crossing the stage. 4-0. Please proceed to the area along the wall to my right, over there, and the ushers will guide you forward in order that you may capture your special moments with the camera. I now call on the public orators to introduce the candidates for degrees.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates from the Faculty of Social Science for the degree of Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Management and Organizational Studies Honors Program: William James Frederick Bates, Jenna Crow, Michelle Dow. Paul Foreman, William Fragiscatos, Ashley Jones. Leah Krangle, Andrew Lewison, gold medalist, Manali Pradhan. Yu Shen, Chen Wei, Andrew Wogerer. Tamara Wall, Ying Zhu. Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree of Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Administrative and Commercial Studies or Management and Organizational Studies. Haitham Abu Jared, Tyler Ahoen, Robert Allen. Alana Arshoff, Cassandra Atkin, Conrad Bach. Melissa Baer, Catherine Scott Barbin, Terry Belgrave. Matthew Bento, Adam Bradley Barrell, Paul Philip Blay. Todd Boyko, Megan Bradner, Ryan Edward Bugelli. Jed Cabaletti, Brooke Rochelle Campbell, Christopher Caverson. Ramazan Chatintash, Adrian Chang, In Sung Chang. Shadra Chadari, Ji Chen, Zheng Chen. Mark Allen Chesterman, Kit Ming Chiang, Jade Chislett. Christopher Chu, Yuan Cao, Ko Kwang Choi. Shen Kai, Ji Hing Chong, Alvin Chow. Sarah Chung, Stephanie Chung, Andre Sionga. Eric Coddington, Graham D. Coe, Marina Colombo. Ian Coulter-John, Alicia Criavale, Ian Crozier. Aaron Kugelman, Natalia Mihalina Chuzhakovska, Ross A.P. DeGans. Robert DeVoot, Alexandra Michelle Dietrich, Rachel Shannon Dobbs. Mark Doucette, Nicole Drabick, Catherine Elise Duholka. James Dunlop, Corey Enman, Chen Fan. Kristen Marie Faria, Brandy Findlater, Lauren Nicole Findlay. Andres Fornari, William Fowler, Amanda Francis. Miao Ji, Riaz Gilbert, Laura Gobe. Ray Gong, Daniel Gao, Matthew Grasby. Jessica Gray, Safia Gulamani, Ali Haider. Zihi, Jeffrey Henderson, Tyler Heslop. Riem Hijazi, Mark Hirsch, Wan Ling Ho. Julie Hodge, Na Huang, Shun Huggett. Usman Iftekhar, Rima Imtiaz, Oscar Ip. Caitlin Izon, Deborah Marie Jansen, Wei Jiang. Devin Johnson, Esmeralda Karajic, Yeon Shik Kang. Zachary Katz, Alaha Kawa, Samar Kodabandalu.
Tatiana Kuri, Kirote Karimi, Huyung Min Kim. Shuji Kong, Camilla Coquin, Sandy Marie Kokinos. Jason Chun Ho Kong, Yanto Wing Yan Kwok, Cho Hee Kwan. Kevin Kwong, Ilias Logopoulos, Eric Lamb. Packlin Lam, Lauren Langlois, Megan Lapointe. Michelle Lazenby, Michael Last, Alexander Lau. Vanell Law, Gabriel Lawrence, Victoria Leach. Doris Wei-In Lee, Jiwan Lee, Josephine Lee. Andrew David Legrely, Mark Anthony Lepore, Jamie Lehrman. Larry John Michael Laquai, Jing Lee, Lindsay Liptok. Alana Marie Littlefield, Corey Liu, Shijia Liu. Kayla Looney, Guachi Ma, Lin Ma. Danielle Joanne Eleanor McDonald, Thomas Robert John Mann, Stephanie Marlowe. Nathaniel Martin, Adam Thomas McCann, Christopher Robert McClellan. Galen McPhee, Melissa Mifsud, Haran Jerome Murthy. Ryan Maurice, Brian Morrison, Joseph Navarro. Emmanuel Bruno Dungutse, Andre Liviu Niago, Tim Nguyen. Kristen Nickel, Joshua Harry William Norman, Peter Nicky Fortune. Justin Bradley O'Donnell, Darcy O'Neill, Jesse Olson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very large degree group. I think we're all feeling some pent-up applause in us. I suggest we let it go.
Jarrett Olson, Minar Osman, Lydia Pardue. Jennifer Perrant, Erica Sylvia Poxons, Sarah Paulin. Dusan Petkovich, Brendan Pierce, Danielle Pinsino. Kenneth Polonenko, gold medalist. Monique Popiel, Brendan Philip Purdy. Caitlin Minsen Kin, Lauren Rachel Quintiliani, Sarah Alexandra Quintiliani. Adam Jacob Ram, Graham Lowell Ricker, Dina Reedha. Thomas Sterling Roberts, Amy Lynn Robertson, Sarah Robinson. Kelly Rowland, Sarah Romano, Mary Angel Romo. Gregory Joseph Rose, Rupert Schuld, Stephanie Sferrazza. Megha Shah, Eric Simar, Grace Sham. Jesse Sitt, Lauren Smith, Lucia Sinyan So. Alema Sogolj, Amy Somers, Amanda Spicer. Jenny Stencil, Heather Stepaniak, Aaron Stocking. Chia Yu Tang, Ann Mei Tao, Lisa Marie Taylor. Whitney Taylor Maisano, Kelly Churchira, Paul Tesaro. Jill Thompson, Tan Tran, Jennifer Urbanski.
Alexandra Page Vaca, Roshni Vora, Travis Granton Walker. Chen Wang, Xiaoran Wang, Yang Wang. Justin John Wazalewski, Michael Webster, Justin White. David Whiteside, Stephanie Wiskin, Garrett Wooten. Justine Wright, Yubang Wu, Xia Chao. Yao Chi, Dong Chu, Jing Chu, gold medalist. Diana Yam, Stephanie Yan, Brian Yap. Olivia Yi, Jingxi Yi, Isaac Chi Ho Young. Nana Yerenchi, Zhu Yu, Christine Yu. Lingxi Zhao, Yifeng Zhao, Gordon Zheng Zhang. Grace Hua Zhu. Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Arts: Ryan Douglas Andrews, Natalia Katarzyna Baranieka, Lynn Barrett. Megan Rebecca Irene Baxter, Danielle Boyd, Adam Justin Brown. Tiffany Buttrill, Caitlin Erin Card, Valerie Ann Clark. Christina Cowell, Ashley Crux, Amber Schweitz. Jenna Diaz, Vera Lucia Batista Doctor, Heather Samantha Douglas. Andrew Michael Hoff Drummond, Sandra Ann Elfman, Amanda Gilbraith. Shuo Guo, Leo Hicks, Spencer Jones. Shahrazad Kademi, Jennifer Kim, Sarah Kim. Ryan King, Christine Klassen, Shelley Melinda Coster, gold medalist. Michelle Cott, Vin Kien La, Aaron Lee. Ho Chung Leung, Corey Litwin, Kyle Joseph McKenna. Jesse McMahon, Zoe Metz, Nicole Militich. Alexander Morowitz, Evelyn Mitka, Robert Joseph Neubauer. Irina Michalina Olma, Elizabeth Janet Noble, Karen Palmer. Karen Elizabeth Palmer, Mark Poon, Scott Prosser.
Rabernick, Ryan Kluers.
Lindsay Rabernick, Nicholas Reinklers, Huki Ren.
Ritz.
Jessica Ritzy, Jessica Marie Rose, Krista Joanne Ross.
Sereno, Schöner.
Kelly Russell, Christian Sereno, Lauren Chinook.
Steinman, Chagall.
Mitchell Steinman, Mike Chagall, Ryan Benny Tang. Alexandra Tidorescu, gold medalist. Craig Dylan Thompson, Laura Vickery. Kevin Elliott Vopney, Monish Vadera, Christopher Waring. Serene Virasinga, Courtney West, Liz Whetstone. Shelby Marie Woodman.
In the name of the Senate, I grant to the Registrar the authority to confer degrees and diplomas to those candidates whose names appear in the official program, but who are not present today. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Jim Etherington, past president of our Alumni Association, to say a few words. Jim.
Mr. Chancellor, fellow alumni, recognizing that I'm one of the very few things standing between you and a good party time, these remarks are brief. On behalf of the volunteer board of directors of the Alumni Association of the University of Western Ontario, I welcome you as members. I urge you to keep in touch because you are entitled as an alum to a wide variety of programs, services, discounts, and events. And if you keep in touch, we'll keep sending you the information. On your programs, to remind you, when you're turning in your regalia at the UCC, the Alumni Association is sponsoring a reception for you and your guests and family members. Please enjoy that. I'll see you there. And a final word, have a great life.
Before closing convocation, I wish to express my appreciation to all who have contributed to the success of the day, and in particular, and on your behalf as well, I want to thank the University of Western Ontario Convocation Brass for their magnificent performance and their director, Professor James Mackay. May I request that the audience remain at their seats while the academic procession leaves the hall. Convocation is now adjourned.